There is a quiet force that shapes everything we experience, an invisible current that moves beneath our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Some call it vibration, others energy, and a few recognize it as the very language of the universe. Every choice, every thought, every emotion emits a frequency that interacts with the quantum field around us. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, our personal electromagnetic field constantly communicates with the field of infinite potential, shaping the reality we perceive. This video explores that sacred dialogue, the subtle art of changing our frequency to attract everything we truly desire. Most people live unaware of the signals they are broadcasting. They wish for abundance, but their energy hums in scarcity. They dream of love, yet their vibration whispers fear and doubt. In this silent contradiction, the universe listens not to what we say, but to what we are. Our reality is not defined by external circumstances, but by the invisible field we emit each moment. Changing that field is not about forcing outcomes or repeating affirmations. It's about transforming the inner vibration that creates them. When Napoleon Hill wrote that thoughts are things, he hinted at a truth modern science is only now beginning to measure. Thoughts generate measurable electromagnetic waves. Emotions add power to those waves. Together, they become the energetic signature that determines what we attract. This is not abstract spirituality. It's the science of resonance. Whatever frequency we embody becomes the magnet of our experience. In this journey, we will explore how shifting our frequency alters our destiny. You will learn how emotions act as tuning instruments for manifestation, how the body's energy field mirrors the mind, and why changing your vibration is the most practical form of transformation. We will merge the wisdom of spirituality with the precision of neuroscience, revealing how the invisible becomes tangible, how thought becomes form. The universe is not random, it is responsive, and when your frequency changes, life cannot help but rearrange itself around your new vibration. Every moment of our existence vibrates with unseen patterns. We are transmitters and receivers of energy, constantly broadcasting frequencies that ripple through the quantum field. Long before science could measure electromagnetic resonance, mystics and philosophers intuited this truth. Reality is not built from matter, but from vibration. The structure of your life is a mirror of the energy you emit. When you change the frequency of that energy, your entire world reorganizes around it. Modern neuroscience now supports what ancient wisdom always proclaimed. Dr. Joe Dispenza, through his groundbreaking research, discovered that human thoughts and emotions create measurable electromagnetic fields around the body. These fields extend beyond our skin and interact with the invisible fabric of reality. The heart, for instance, produces an electromagnetic signal many times stronger than the brain, meaning our emotions have the power to influence the world around us more directly than we ever imagined. When we think a thought charged with emotion, we imprint that vibration into the field of potential. Over time, those vibrations gather coherence and begin to manifest as physical experiences. This is the fundamental principle behind the law of attraction, but it is often misunderstood. Manifestation is not about wishing or positive thinking. It is about aligning your inner world with the energetic frequency of the outcome you seek. When your thoughts and emotions are coherent, when your heart and mind vibrate in harmony, you become a living magnet for experiences that resonate with that same vibration. The universe is not judging or rewarding. It simply mirrors back the signal you emit. Imagine your mind as a tuning fork. If it vibrates at a low frequency, fear, doubt, guilt, it can only resonate with experiences of the same vibration. Conversely, when you elevate your frequency to love, gratitude, and peace, you attract experiences that echo those qualities. This principle is as natural as gravity. We do not blame gravity for causing a fall. We learn to work with it. The same applies to energetic frequency. Understanding it gives us power to shape our lives consciously rather than reactively. The reason so many struggle to manifest what they want is not a lack of desire, but a lack of coherence. Most people send out mixed signals, one moment hopeful, the next fearful. These conflicting vibrations cancel each other out, creating stagnation. It is not enough to repeat affirmations. The emotion behind them must match the words. To say "I am abundant" while feeling anxious about money is to emit a frequency of lack. The universe hears the vibration, not the vocabulary. Joe Dispenza explains that every thought triggers a chemical reaction in the body. When we think positively but still feel stress, our body remains conditioned to the past. The frequency of the past cannot create a new future. Transformation begins when you train your nervous system to feel now what you want to experience later. Gratitude is the gateway to this shift. When you embody the feeling of having already received, you synchronize your energy with the timeline where that reality already exists. Gratitude tells the universe, "It is done," and the universe responds accordingly. Napoleon Hill hinted at this mechanism a century ago when he wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Belief is not a mental exercise, it is an energetic state. To believe is to vibrate in harmony with the outcome, to collapse potential into form through the consistency of your frequency. Belief bridges the invisible and the visible, turning intention into experience. Your frequency is not fixed. It shifts with every thought, every emotion, every choice. You can learn to regulate it just as you can tune an instrument. Meditation, conscious breathing, and mindfulness help quiet the chaotic noise of the mind, allowing your frequency to stabilize. Visualization amplifies this coherence by creating a clear, energetic blueprint of your desired reality. When you visualize with emotion, your brain cannot distinguish imagination from memory. It begins to rewire itself as if the event had already occurred. This neuroplastic response sends a new signal to the field, drawing in opportunities, synchronicities, and people aligned with your vibration. To change your frequency is to reclaim authorship over your life. It is the moment you stop reacting to reality and start composing it. Each emotion becomes a note, each thought a vibration, each intention a melody that the universe arranges into form. The challenge is consistency. The quantum field responds to coherence, not sporadic bursts of positivity. It listens to what you practice daily, how you speak to yourself, how you feel when no one is watching, how you interpret obstacles. The universe matches not your wishes, but your essence. When your energy is coherent, life begins to flow differently. People appear at the right time, ideas arrive in moments of stillness, and obstacles transform into stepping stones. These are not coincidences, they are expressions of resonance. The universe does not conspire against or in favor of you, it mirrors you perfectly. This is why changing your frequency is the most profound act of creation available to a human being. You are not here to chase outcomes, you are here to embody them. Reality, then, is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you, orchestrated by the signal you broadcast. When you elevate your frequency, you elevate the quality of everything you experience. Relationships, opportunities, health, and abundance. The key lies not in doing more, but in being differently. As your vibration rises, the old reality dissolves naturally, replaced by a new one that matches your upgraded energetic signature. In the end, the science and spirituality of frequency reveal the same truth. You are both the sender and receiver of your reality. The field responds to your coherence. Every emotion is a code, every thought a command, every breath a chance to realign. To change your frequency is to change the song of your life, and when you do, the universe cannot help but dance to your new rhythm. The intricate relationship between thoughts, emotions, and energy forms the essence of human creation. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, becomes an energetic imprint that travels through the electromagnetic field surrounding your body. This field is not metaphorical, it is measurable. The HeartMath Institute, alongside Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, has demonstrated that the human body emits a dynamic electromagnetic signature that responds instantly to our mental and emotional states. When thought and emotion move in coherence, they generate a unified field that resonates with clarity, harmony, and attraction. When they conflict, they create distortion, a static signal that confuses the very universe we attempt to communicate with. Thoughts are electrical. They originate in the neural networks of the brain, generating measurable currents of electricity. Emotions are magnetic. They arise from the heart and endocrine system, broadcasting waves of attraction and repulsion. Together, thought and emotion form the electromagnetic pattern that determines the shape of our personal reality. You are not just a physical being. You are a transmitter within the vast field of consciousness. Your thoughts send signals outward, and your emotions determine the strength and polarity of those signals. In simple terms, you attract not what you think, but what you feel about what you think. This distinction is vital. A person can repeat an affirmation endlessly. I am loved, I am successful, I am abundant. But if the underlying emotional vibration contradicts those words, the energy field remains out of alignment. The universe receives both signals, the thought and the emotion, but it responds to the dominant vibration, which is almost always emotional. This is why so many people struggle with manifestation. They focus on mental repetition without realizing that emotion is the amplifier of reality. The feeling is the frequency, and the frequency is the message. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that emotions are records of the past. When you think and feel in the same patterns repeatedly, your body becomes conditioned to a specific frequency. This conditioning locks you into a predictable future because you are broadcasting the same energetic signal day after day. To create a new reality, you must generate a new frequency, and that requires new thoughts supported by new emotions. It is not enough to change your mind. You must teach your body to feel differently. This process is what Dispenza calls breaking the habit of being yourself. When we begin to observe our thoughts, we notice that most are repetitive, habitual, and rooted in the past. Each of these thoughts triggers a familiar emotional reaction: frustration, anxiety, guilt, or unworthiness. Over time, this creates an energetic loop where the brain signals the body to feel, and the body signals the brain to think, perpetuating the same frequency indefinitely. The first step to transformation is awareness. By observing the thought before it merges with emotion, you interrupt the energetic pattern that sustains your old reality. Awareness collapses the loop. As your awareness deepens, you begin to recognize the language of your energy field. Emotions like gratitude, compassion, and love expand the field, making it more coherent and magnetic. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, or shame contract it, creating dissonance. This is not moral judgment. It is energetic mechanics. A coherent field is smooth and harmonious, capable of influencing matter with precision. An incoherent field is fragmented and unstable, producing random results. When your energy field becomes coherent, synchronicities begin to appear. People call them coincidences, but they are simply the universe responding to a stable signal. The human heart is the most powerful generator of this signal. It creates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body and interacts with the fields of others. When you enter a room, your energy arrives before your words. People sense your vibration subconsciously, the calm of your coherence or the chaos of your dissonance. This is why emotional regulation is not merely psychological, but energetic. When your heart and mind are in harmony, your field becomes a symphony that others instinctively respond to. This understanding leads to a deeper realization. Every emotion has a frequency. Shame vibrates around 20 Hz, fear near 100, love near 500, and gratitude beyond 700, according to studies in vibrational psychology. These are not just numbers. They are representations of how expanded or constricted your energy field becomes under different emotional states. The higher the vibration, the broader your capacity to influence both your inner and outer world. This is why gratitude, even when practiced briefly, can produce rapid shifts in external circumstances. Gratitude tells your field that abundance is already here, collapsing potential into form through vibrational coherence. It is also important to understand that thoughts alone are neutral. They gain creative power only when charged with emotional energy. Without emotion, a thought is like a seed without soil. Emotion provides the fertile ground where intention takes root. If the emotion is fear, the thought grows into worry. If the emotion is love, the thought manifests as opportunity. The quality of your inner environment determines the nature of what you create. As you refine the relationship between thought and emotion, you begin to experience a phenomenon known as heart-brain coherence. This state occurs when the rhythmic patterns of the heart synchronize with the neural oscillations of the brain. In this state, the mind becomes still, the body relaxes, and intuition heightens. You begin to perceive subtle guidance, those quiet impulses that lead you toward inspired action. Science has shown that in this state, the body enters optimal healing, creativity expands, and decision-making becomes more aligned. Coherence is not only the foundation of manifestation, but of well-being itself. Many spiritual teachers and scientists, including Gregg Braden, describe this as the intersection between biology and divinity. The heart acts as a bridge between the physical and non-physical dimensions of existence. When we align with it, we align with the rhythm of the universe. This rhythm is not random. It is intelligent, self-organizing, and responsive. By attuning your energy field to this natural coherence, you align with a field of infinite potential that continuously reorganizes itself to match your vibration. To live consciously is to become aware of this connection and nurture it with intention. It is to recognize that every moment of frustration, every burst of joy, every thought of possibility or defeat ripples into the field. Each moment is a chance to tune your frequency, to speak the language of creation more fluently. Your life is not a series of random events, but a symphony of frequencies composed by the harmony or discord between your thoughts and emotions. In the silence between thought and feeling lies creation itself. When your mind is calm and your heart is open, your frequency becomes pure and the universe listens. Reality bends not to your will, but to your resonance. To understand this connection is to remember that you are not separate from the universe. You are an expression of it, vibrating in human form. The moment thought and emotion align, the field responds, and the invisible becomes visible once more. Every human being carries within them an invisible architecture of thoughts, emotions, and memories that silently shapes their vibration. These internal structures, habits of perception and response, form what might be called energetic patterns. They are not always obvious. They live in the spaces between what we feel and what we allow ourselves to express. When unobserved, these patterns become the silent saboteurs of our frequency, keeping us bound to the very realities we wish to transcend. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes these patterns as the emotional addictions of the past. The body becomes so familiar with certain chemical states, fear, anxiety, guilt, that it begins to crave them. Even when the mind dreams of freedom, the body unconsciously pulls it back toward the familiar vibration of suffering. This is why transformation can feel like resistance. It is not that change is impossible. It is that the body's energy field has memorized the past so deeply that the new frequency feels foreign. The mind must therefore become the leader of a new emotional orchestra, teaching the body to vibrate differently. One of the most common hidden patterns is the unconscious belief in unworthiness. Many carry this vibration quietly, convinced that they are undeserving of love, success, or abundance. This belief does not always speak in words. It manifests as self-sabotage, procrastination, or chronic dissatisfaction. The energetic field of unworthiness emits a frequency of separation from the good we seek. The universe, responding faithfully, mirrors back experiences that confirm this belief. The path to liberation begins with recognizing that unworthiness is not truth. It is conditioning. The frequency of worthiness is already within us, waiting to be remembered rather than achieved. Another subtle pattern is emotional resistance, the inability to release what has already passed. When we hold on to resentment, betrayal, or disappointment, we imprison our energy in the past. Every unhealed memory becomes an anchor that drags our vibration downward. As Carl Jung observed, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. To raise our frequency, we must learn to see these patterns for what they are, remnants of an old identity that no longer serves who we are becoming. Awareness dissolves them because awareness itself vibrates higher than the energy of suppression. Fear is perhaps the most persistent saboteur. It disguises itself as logic, caution, or realism, but beneath its mask lies contraction, the opposite of creation. Fear compresses the energy field, narrowing perception and reducing our access to intuitive intelligence. When fear governs vibration, manifestation stagnates, because fear signals to the universe that we do not trust the flow of life. The antidote is not blind optimism, but coherence, holding a state of calm awareness even in uncertainty. Gregg Braden refers to this as heart-based resilience, the ability to remain energetically open while navigating the unknown. When fear loses its grip, the frequency of possibility returns. A subtler form of sabotage is emotional inconsistency. The universe does not respond to sporadic moments of positivity, but to the frequency we sustain over time. Many oscillate between faith and doubt, gratitude and frustration. Each swing resets the vibration, preventing the formation of a coherent field. Consistency of energy is the foundation of manifestation. This is why ancient spiritual traditions emphasized ritual, not for superstition but for rhythm. Rituals stabilize vibration, teaching the nervous system to remain aligned even when external circumstances shift. The energy of comparison is another hidden disruptor. When we compare ourselves to others, we affirm separation rather than connection. Comparison tells the universe, "I am not that," and the frequency of lack intensifies. The energy field thrives on authenticity. It cannot resonate with imitation. Each soul emits a unique vibrational signature that harmonizes with specific experiences. The more we align with our own essence, the more magnetic our field becomes. The key is authenticity, living in truth rather than performance. Many people unknowingly sabotage their frequency through mental overcontrol. The need to predict outcomes, control timing, or rationalize every step creates resistance in the energetic field. The universe responds best to coherence, not control. Control emits tension, trust emits flow. Neville Goddard described this as the art of assumption, living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled without needing to know how it will happen. When we relax into trust, we release the frequency of desperation and step into the frequency of alignment. Another pattern lies in energetic fatigue. The modern world floods our attention with constant stimulation, digital noise, emotional demands, collective anxiety. This sensory overload drains the energy body, leaving it fragmented and incoherent. Incoherence disrupts the dialogue between thought and field, weakening manifestation. To restore power, silence is essential. The absence of noise allows the energy field to reorganize. Silence is not emptiness, it is recalibration. It is the moment when energy gathers strength again, preparing to create with clarity. Shame also distorts vibration profoundly. It is one of the lowest frequencies measured in emotional energy studies, collapsing the field into self-rejection. Shame convinces us that our mistakes define us, but energy does not hold grudges, it only mirrors what it receives. When we forgive ourselves, we reclaim lost fragments of our frequency. Forgiveness restores wholeness, and wholeness restores power. The vibration of self-compassion is one of the most healing frequencies available. It transforms density into light. Underlying all these patterns is one root cause: unconscious identification. We believe we are the emotion, the thought, the story, rather than the awareness perceiving them. The moment we step back and observe, energy begins to shift. Observation loosens attachment, and with detachment comes freedom. Energy that was once locked in repetitive loops begins to flow again, rising toward coherence. This is the beginning of liberation, the realization that you are not your frequency, you are its conductor. Transforming these hidden patterns is not an act of force but of presence. The more we bring awareness into the body, the more old vibrations dissolve. Breath by breath, the energy reorganizes, revealing the natural harmony that was always there. You do not create coherence, you uncover it. Every act of mindfulness is a recalibration of frequency. Every moment of honesty, a realignment with truth. When the unconscious becomes conscious, when fear transforms into curiosity, when shame gives way to compassion, the field clears. The static fades. What remains is pure resonance, a signal strong enough to magnetize new realities. The saboteurs of frequency are not enemies to be fought. They are teachers revealing where your energy longs to be free. Once you understand them, they lose power. And in that liberation, your vibration rises, calling forth a reality that mirrors your awakened state. Alignment is not a single event, but a continuous process of returning to your natural state of harmony. It is the art of attuning your inner energy to the rhythm of life itself. Every tradition, from ancient mysticism to modern neuroscience, points to the same truth. Coherence creates flow, and flow creates manifestation. When the mind, body, and heart resonate together, the field around you becomes ordered, powerful, and magnetic. The following methods are not mere techniques. They are pathways to remembering who you truly are beneath the noise of conditioning. The first method is awareness. Awareness is the foundation upon which all energetic transformation begins. Without awareness, energy moves chaotically. repeating old patterns by default. With awareness, chaos begins to organize into order. When you observe a thought without judging it, you shift from being the thought to being the consciousness behind it. That shift alone raises your frequency, because awareness is a higher vibration than reaction. The moment you witness your internal state, you create space for energy to move freely again. Awareness is not passive. It is the most active form of alignment because it reclaims sovereignty over your vibration. The second method is emotional coherence. The body is a living orchestra, and every emotion is a note that contributes to the symphony of your frequency. When emotions are fragmented, joy one moment, resentment the next, the field becomes incoherent. Emotional coherence is cultivated by allowing emotions to flow without suppression or indulgence. Feel what arises, but do not become it. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, when emotions are regulated through deep breathing and heart-centered awareness, the electromagnetic field of the heart expands dramatically. This expanded field synchronizes with the brain, creating heart-brain coherence. In this state, manifestation becomes natural because the signal you send to the universe is clear and unwavering. The third method is the cultivation of gratitude. Gratitude is not an intellectual act. It is a vibrational frequency that bridges you to abundance. When you feel genuine gratitude, the body releases neurochemicals such as dopamine and oxytocin, harmonizing the nervous system and expanding the energy field. Gratitude transforms your frequency from desire to fulfillment, collapsing the gap between what you want and what you already are. It communicates to the universe that you have already received, and the universe, in resonance with that vibration, mirrors the experience of completion. Gratitude is the language of abundance. It tunes your energy to the frequency of receiving. The fourth method is silence. In a world that celebrates constant noise, silence becomes a sacred rebellion. Within silence, the energy field recalibrates. The absence of external input allows the body to synchronize with deeper rhythms, the heartbeat, the breath, the pulse of the earth itself. Silence restores coherence because it removes interference. Ancient mystics entered silence not to escape the world, but to realign with the frequency that creates it. Greg Braden refers to this as entrainment, the process through which the body harmonizes with the larger field of universal intelligence. In silence, you remember that alignment does not require effort. It requires surrender. The fifth method is breath. Breath is the bridge between the physical and the energetic. It is the most immediate tool for transforming frequency because it directly influences the nervous system. Shallow breathing keeps the body in survival mode, constricting the energy flow. Deep, rhythmic breathing signals safety to the body, expanding the heart's field and restoring coherence. When you breathe consciously, you bring life force into stillness, oxygen into emotion, and awareness into the present. Breath is not simply air, it is frequency in motion, a reminder that energy is meant to flow. The sixth method is intention. Intention is the architect of energy. It gives direction to vibration, transforming random frequency into purpose. When intention is set from a coherent emotional state, such as gratitude or love, it becomes a magnetic directive in the quantum field. The key is clarity. The universe responds not to vague desires, but to the vibrational precision of your inner conviction. Intention backed by emotion creates momentum. Intention backed by doubt creates resistance. Dr. Bruce Lipton often describes this as biological resonance. Cells respond to coherent intention by aligning their behavior with it. The same principle applies to the universe. It behaves according to the intention it perceives in your frequency. The seventh method is presence. Presence is the point of convergence where past and future dissolve and only now remains. The frequency of presence is pure coherence because it carries no resistance. When you are fully present, your energy stops oscillating between regret and anticipation. It gathers into a unified field of power. Presence is not achieved by effort, but by awareness. It is the natural state that emerges when you stop identifying with thought. Eckhart Tolle calls this the power of now, but in energetic terms, presence is the alignment of all your energy in this moment. It is where manifestation occurs, because creation can only happen in the present. The eighth method is alignment with nature. The natural world operates in perfect coherence. Every tree, wave, and gust of wind vibrates in harmony with the universal rhythm. When you immerse yourself in nature, your frequency begins to synchronize with this order. The Schumann resonance, the Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat, has been shown to stabilize brain waves and reduce stress. Nature teaches alignment not through words, but through vibration. When you walk barefoot on the earth, when you listen to the rhythm of rain, when you breathe with the wind, your energy remembers what balance feels like. Nature is not outside you. It is your reflection in its purest form. The ninth method is forgiveness. Forgiveness releases energetic weight. Holding on to resentment or guilt binds your frequency to the past, keeping your energy dense and constricted. To forgive is to liberate energy from stagnation. It does not mean condoning actions, but reclaiming the vibration of peace. Neville Goddard spoke of forgiveness as a form of revision, changing your energetic relationship to a memory until it no longer holds you captive. Forgiveness is the act of returning energy to flow. It purifies the field, creating space for new frequencies to enter. The 10th method is joy. Joy is the highest creative frequency because it reflects alignment with the source of life itself. Joy is not the absence of pain, but the recognition of meaning within it. It emerges when your energy moves freely, when you are no longer resisting the moment. Joy amplifies manifestation because it signals to the universe that you are in harmony with creation. The more joy you feel, the more magnetic your field becomes. All these methods share a common thread. They are not about forcing energy, but allowing it to return to coherence. Alignment is not achieved through striving, but through remembering. You are already the frequency you seek to attract. Every practice, every breath, every moment of awareness simply unveils what was never lost. As your energy aligns, life begins to mirror that alignment. Opportunities flow, relationships harmonize, health improves, not by chance but by resonance. The universe, after all, is not separate from you. It is responding to your vibration, waiting for you to remember that you are both the sender and the signal. Reality bends to the rhythm of your vibration. Every thought, every emotion, every breath you take sends ripples through the field of existence, shaping the world that unfolds before you. You are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its constant creation. The energy you emit, consciously or unconsciously, determines the quality of everything that returns to you. When you begin to understand this sacred truth, you stop chasing outcomes and start becoming the frequency of what you seek. Throughout this journey, you have seen that changing your energy frequency is not a mystical concept, but a living science of transformation. It is the merging point of consciousness and physics, where your inner state becomes the blueprint for your external world. When your thoughts align with love, when your emotions harmonize with gratitude, when your heart and mind move as one, your energy field emits coherence. And coherence is creation. It is the magnetic force that draws people, opportunities, and experiences into perfect alignment with your vibration. The power you hold is immeasurable. You have within you the ability to dissolve old patterns, transmute fear into clarity, and reprogram the energetic codes that define your reality. The universe is not withholding abundance. It is responding faithfully to the frequency you radiate. Each moment offers a choice: to repeat the vibration of yesterday or to rise into the frequency of your becoming. The more you live consciously, the more your energy becomes light, expansive, and magnetic. This is not just spiritual poetry. It is energetic truth. You are both the observer and the observed, both the signal and the receiver. Remember that your frequency is your legacy. The energy you embody today will echo far beyond the moment. When you vibrate in love, you contribute to the healing of the world. When you align with peace, you expand the collective consciousness of humanity. Changing your frequency is not only a personal act of power, it is a gift to the universe itself. You are the vibration, and the universe is the echo. Now that you understand the immense power of your vibration, ask yourself this: what reality will you choose to create from this moment forward? The answer begins not in your mind, but in your energy. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join this community of conscious creators who are learning to live in alignment with the universe. Continue your journey of transformation by watching the next video appearing on your screen. It's a continuation of everything you've begun to awaken today. Let your frequency rise, stay connected, and remember, the universe is always listening to the energy you become,